Welcome back to Stoppage Time here on Pints and Punditry, and I want to talk about Steven Gerrard and Jesse Marsch. Steven Gerrard got fired yesterday by Aston Villa, and it's not shocking, and it was probably the right move. It was definitely coming soon. He has not had a lot of success in his 1 year at Aston Villa. But the calls have also led for Jesse Marsch to be fired. And those were sort of there anyway, but a lot of people are making the comparison between him and Steven Gerrard. And I just don't think that's fair for a number of reasons. One is, I don't think it was fair for the expectations for Leeds to be as high as Aston Villa's. I think Aston Villa has a better roster, a more coherent roster. They've been on the team longer. I think their expectations should have been a little higher than Leeds. Jesse Marsch is not in a super easy spot. They got a lot of talent that came in, but it really was going to take time to mesh. And a lot of them are very young and in their first crack at the Premier League, particularly the Americans. Tyler Adams, Brendan Aronson, these guys are young. They've never been in the Premier League. Jesse Marsch has never been in the Premier League. So there's an adjustment period. And frankly, as long as they're not being relegated, that's really sort of my expectation, was just to stick around and then let him build a culture and let him build a program. Steven Gerrard, on the other hand, inherited a team that had some expectations and should have been better, and they really haven't met those. So I don't think it's fair to align the expectations. Secondly, Steven Gerrard and Jesse Marsch are not the same, just in terms of coaching pedigree. Steven Gerrard is not that far removed from his playing days and has spent his life in the Premier League. He coached Liverpool's youth team, and then he went to Rangers in the Scottish League. And yes, he had success, but he had success at a team that was already successful and has been successful since, and is expected to be successful and should be successful in Scotland. They got more money, more resources, and have just been a historically better club. So you can't completely discount winning there, but it doesn't tell me that he's a great coach. It feels like the sort of place where you could put just about any coach in and they should be moderately successful. So you can't discount it a ton, but it doesn't mean he was ready for the Premier League, and he comes in and then has not done a great job and has underachieved. Jesse Marsch, on the other hand, has been coaching for over a decade, a couple stints with MLS, assistant at RB Leipzig, head coach at RB Salzburg, head coach at RB Leipzig. Hasn't had the best track record of success, but the Red Bull family of coaches and ownership thought highly of him enough to keep moving him around. And so he's a guy you've got to give a chance to build a culture and a program. So to flop him out of there now would be very Leeds-esque of their recent history, but it really doesn't give him a chance to build a culture and a program, and that's what Jesse's all about. And so to exodus him this quickly is really, really short-sighted. He's not Steven Gerrard. He has a much longer track record, and he's dealing with a lot of turnover on the roster and a lot of young guys who are getting playing time, and that takes time. So Leeds, give Jesse Marsch a chance. The onus is on him as an American. He does not get the leash that others are going to get, an English legend like Steven Gerrard. But to get rid of him this early would be foolish, and to compare him to Steven Gerrard is just not accurate or fair. Thanks as always for joining us here on Pints and Punditry at Total FIFA Career Mode.